start a workout plan and change your diet to what you know is healthy, you know is better. Okay, do the research, figure out what works for you, take the next step and do it. It's not complicated. Get out of your own way. Don't you love the coaching? Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to all of my new subscribers. Welcome aboard the health and happiness train. I did want to share with you guys why I choose the word happiness, health and happiness. Because one thing is that everybody desires happiness, right? Joy, if you look up the word joy, blissful, consistent or sustained happiness. So happiness is in the definition of joy. I know that some Christians say, oh, it's better to have joy than happiness. But happiness is actually in the definition of joy, just FYI. You know how I am with the Christian traditionals, like just sayings that make absolutely no sense. But but I know that for those who have a little bit more wisdom, you understand that chasing happiness is what actually leads to discontent. And I do think that there's truth to that. And there's absolute truth to that, that it has been shown that those who seek happiness tend to be the most unhappy. Okay, so it's not that that's untrue. And so those with more wisdom might be wondering, well, why I'm choosing that happiness. And so I wanted to just kind of explain that really quick because it's something that everyone desires. And if I can teach you what true happiness is, if you notice a lot of my videos are about controlling the atmosphere of your life, having boundaries, having an inner circle, having healthy relationships, fitness, working out, all of the things. Because true happiness is internal. True happiness is being able to recognize all of the beautiful things around you that happen every single day. Being able to appreciate the sunny weather and really soak that in and appreciate the beauty around you. Instead of just taking note of when it's rainy and sloppy outside. You see what I mean? So I want to use that as a segue to talk about this idea of leveling up mentally, physically, socially, and spiritually, or spiritually and socially. There's a reason I have it in that order. And I like the concept of leveling up. I just don't always hear enough about what's really going to sustain changing into a healthier lifestyle. I like the concept of leveling up. I just don't necessarily like the narratives around it, is what I'm saying. Hopefully that makes sense. So when I'm talking about leveling up, I'm always talking about a mental shift, doing the inner work, right? Because you can change your clothes, you can even change where you live, you can even change or try to change who you hang out with. But if you haven't changed your mind, you're switching bodies, honey, but it's going to be the same people with the same problems, with the same energy because you haven't changed. So when we talk about leveling up mentally, which is why I have that first, you got to love it. The first thing you need to do, as you can see from the title of this video, what are your next steps? What is your next step when you desire to level up in all of these areas? Where should you start? And when it comes to like mental leveling up, where you start is doing a self-inventory. Figuring out your own strengths and weaknesses. What are my strengths and weaknesses? What do I value most? Why do I value those things? Do I need to talk to a therapist? Do I have some ongoing anxiety and depression? Okay, that's just like getting your foot through the door of leveling up mentally, is figuring out who you are, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, What are some patterns you want to change? Do you need to talk to a therapist? Do you need to talk to a coach? Do you need a mentor? Or do you just need somebody to process some things with, maybe a friend or a trusted colleague that can help you figure out some things that's been holding you back? Most of the time when I'm talking to someone, whether it's coaching or counseling, those are two different things. With coaching, someone is coming with a clear agenda and goal. There's some things they want to accomplish. They kind of bring their own energy, motivation. And in counseling, a person is kind of stuck. They're stuck in a mental sense, not in accomplishing things, but they're stuck in a mental rut. They're stuck in anxiety. They're stuck in depression, or they're dealing with some really great grief and loss, right? And these things are preventing them from living a full, healthy, happy life. It stops them from doing the things that they need to do. If you're dealing with depression, you're unlikely to get out of the house and go work out and do all the things that you don't feel like doing. That none of us, sometimes, all of us go through that where we don't feel like doing it, but we are able to do it because we know it's what's healthy for us. But if you lack the ability to move past some really hopelessness, helplessness, feeling worthless, then it's hard to do those things that you know you need to do. So that's why you need to tackle your mental first. You got to level up mentally before you can level up anywhere else. And you start by doing some self-inventory and asking yourself, what's holding me back? What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? What do I value most? Why do I value that? And from that assessment, trying to decide, do you need to talk to a professional? Right? And then there's the physical. How do you level up physically? And you already probably know what I'm going to say, if you follow me on Instagram or, even in some of my YouTube videos. It's with your health and fitness, your diet and your life, your lifestyle as far as fitness and what you put in your body. I'm not saying you got to run marathons. I'm not saying that you got to lift, 150 pounds, per arm. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that you should be moving your body every day. You should be engaging in some type of cardio. Find what works for you. Find what is fun for you, whether that's dance fitness or yoga, taking a walk at the end of the day, playing with your dogs, whatever it is that you want to do. But you do need to have some physical activity, okay? On a smaller scale daily, but 3 to 4 times a week, you should be doing some sort of working out. I'm a fan of lifting weights. I think there's so much, scientific evidence that there's so much benefits to lifting weights. So whether I'm lifting body weight, I'm doing pole, that's, pole fitness, that's body weight, a lot of body weight exercising, pull-ups are body weight, doing my dumbbells, doing my squats, whatever it is. I love that. I think it's healthy. But I do understand that's not for everybody. So, yoga is a great way of incorporating movement, lifting some of your body weight. So you are strength training at the same time. So using combined exercises. That's a great way to start. And then with your diet, I feel like I don't need to get into a lot of details because the information, it's out there for you. Even on YouTube, there's a account called Mad Fit. This chick has from 10 minutes to 45 minutes. She's got workouts for everybody. Whether you live in an apartment or you don't, you can't do a whole lot of bumping. She's got something for everybody. I don't even know her. This is not sponsored. I'm just saying that if you don't know about that Mad Fit channel, you need to check it out. That's free. You don't need a gym membership. Go for it. But I really feel like when it comes to health and fitness, we already know what we need to do. It's just a matter of pushing past the want to, whether you want to or not. You're doing that because you need to do it. And it has that compound effect that after a while, you're going to see results and you're going to feel good in your own skin. And that's what we all want, And working out helps you mentally. So it works out perfectly. They're all interconnected, you guys. So foot through the door. Start a workout plan and change your diet to what you know is healthy, is better. Okay? Do the research, figure out what works for you, take the next step and do it. It's not complicated. Get out of your own way. Don't you love the coaching? And then 2 or 3, spiritually, you know, and the start here, you guys, is figuring out what it is that you believe when it comes to a creator. I think that most people are past the idea that all of this came from nothing. If you believe we came from chaos, then I guess we're going to get destroyed in chaos. And so it should be no surprise what's going on in the world. We're just all doomed to chaos because that's what we came from. But if you're like most of the world, you don't really believe that. You know, you believe that there is some type of higher power, whether it's a he, she, it, they, them, you know, it doesn't matter. You know, on this channel, I'm unapologetically Christian. I believe in the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I know that he created all things. He created male and female. He created the earth and all the things that are therein. And he created us with fullness of purpose, okay? So when you're talking about spirituality, connecting with your higher power and connecting with a higher purpose, a divine destiny, is so essential. Because when the world's not making sense, when your life's not going as you planned, when things are falling apart, that's what you end up leaning back on, is your faith, your spirituality. That's what keeps you sane in an insane world. Okay? So if my start here for spirituality is getting connected with your creator and figuring out, you know, what that is. If you are a Christian, if you want to become a stronger Christian, a more devoted Christian, I just did some videos on what does it mean to be a Christ follower. I've given you all the steps that you need to take. So watch those videos. I will put them in the cards and in the description box below. And lastly is socially. Okay, and the reason I have that last is because once you figure out who you are mentally, once you begin to make some changes physically, once you begin to, you know, really hone into your spirituality, that's going to determine how this whole social circle needs to change. To start here with your social circle, it's becoming more clear after you do all those other things. And then you need to ask yourself, your start here for social is, who's going to help me reinforce all of my leveling up mentally, physically, and spiritually, you guys? So you see how all that comes together. It's about connecting with like-minded people who are going to help sustain you, encourage you, give you ideas. You're creating a community and a whole lifestyle around a concept, and that's how things are sustained, and that's how things continue even when it gets hard. So I hope that this video was helpful for you guys, because I didn't want to complicate it for you, but I know that this is really a heavy topic, and I feel like it's a lot of external things, which we can get into that. I do get into that with clients. I do think that, like, for those of you who don't know, I am a licensed therapist. I'm also a counselor, Christian counselor, and a life coach. And in coaching, sometimes a lot of it is about your outward look, like looking the part and believing in yourself. You know, getting out of the bed, making your bed, dressing a certain type of way. I mean, there is a science behind staying in your pajamas all day can lead to prolonging depressive states. So I'm not knocking the external things. I'm just saying, when we're talking about where do you start, I see a lot of the external, you guys, because it's easy. It's easy to change your clothes. It's easy to change the outside, but the mental shift, the inner man that God sees, that's the part that takes time and investment, okay? Because even though those 4 things, I just laid it out for you in about 15 minutes, that's probably about a 3-month investment of your time of figuring out those things, if not longer, okay? So if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. If you have reached the end of this video, you need to like, you need to subscribe. Go ahead and share this video to catch the algorithm and bless other people to see this video. I appreciate all of the support. If you, again, put your comments down below and I will respond or make another video. Yes, love you guys. Bye.